Hello, welcome back to another video. So we have this sheep feeder to sort out. As you can see, that's supposed to be a trough there, and when they've gone to move it with the pallet tines, they've stuck it into the trough and bent it all. So the farmer's had a go at straightening it himself already. So he's cut that section out and it looks like he's warmed up down there. Then he's realised it was not as easy as he first thought, so he's brought it to me to sort out. So that's the other side, that's what it's supposed to look like. Trough there that all the feed runs into. So you fill the middle up with feed and then it runs out either side into each trough. So when it's bent the trough down, it's also bent that leg in and it's buckled the other side in as well. So I think what I'm going to do, rather than try and straighten any of this trough out, is I'm just going to chop that trough out completely, and then I'm going to press a new one out of 3mm plate and weld it in. So it looks like there's some gussets there. As you can see, it's bent all the way back up to them gussets. Looks like I've tried to warm it up there and bend it back as well. But so what I'm going to do is just chop the trough out just below them gussets all the way across, mostly down the sides. Remove this trough completely, straighten them sides out best I can, and then put a new trough in. So I've got it tipped on its side now. You can see to the extent of how bad it's actually bent. And obviously that side's bent in as well. I'm just going to roughly cut it out with plasma to start with, get rid of the old trough, and then I can neaten it up afterwards, and then we'll press a new one. Right, so I've got the old trough cut out. A few bits along here need straightening up. I've still got these bits to cut out. The new trough, I'll overlap it underneath there, so it doesn't matter how straight this edge is. Well, it doesn't matter, you know, if my cut line wasn't that straight. Because the new trough needs to be full width of the bin. There's the leg there and then that folded bit there, so I'll have to cut a bit of the folded bit out so I can get the new trough to fit in, and that's all bent anyway, so I'll cut it off from like there up to there. Might do the same on the other side, and I can get a new trough in and then weld them bits back on the bottom again. Right, so I've got majority of it cut out now. Got cut up there. Just them bits to grind up. A few bits to straighten out across there. Them bits to grind off as well. And then I can cut a strip of 3mm and then I can start to press the trough for it. I've got that ground out. I've got that reasonably straight across there. What I want to do now is put that acro prop in from that leg across to that leg. See if it can push that side back out. What I might have to do is tack some from that leg onto there so it doesn't try and push that leg out at the same time as it pushes this one out. So I've got my measurements for the trough I need to press. I'm just going to do a test piece on this just to make sure that I can do the because that's a 90 and then that's a 90. I'm not sure whether I can do a press that tight, so I'm just going to have a practice on this first. So this is my old press brake. It's old and it leaks a lot of oil, but it was cheap, really cheap, and it has the tonnage to do what I want to do. I think it's about 110 tonne. So I've just got a bit of stuff to move out the way. That's Mercedes OM 606 engine, and now the Leyland 698 engine. That's for my tractor puller. I've just bought a shipping container to put all this unnecessary stuff in, but I haven't got it set up yet in the right place, so it's still just cluttering the workshop up. There's a grey Fergie with a 2.8 Daihatsu engine in it, but that's an unfinished project. So everything that I have that's 3-phase, I run off this Transwave phase converter. Quite a big one. I just need to turn the block over. I want that small V instead of the big V. Right, so I've tried pressing that, but the steel comes back around and touches on the back of the toe ring. So if I open that up from 20mm up to 30mm, then it should clear that, and then that'll come back into the swan neck of the tool. I might have to shorten that a little bit so it doesn't catch on there. So that's better. got my little test piece pressed, got my angles matched up to what I need, and I've just written my settings on the bench so I don't forget them. I'm just going to hand plasma out the piece of steel I need. Normally I'd have put it on my CNC bench and CNC table and cut it out with that, but obviously this is in the way and there's already some steel on it, so I'll just cut it out with a hand plasma. So I've got my strip of steel cut out, I've got my chalk marks on for where the presses need to be. I can put that in the press and press it now. So I've got the trough pressed. I'm going to try and fit it in here now. Might be a bit tricky because the sides are still a little bit buckled, and that is bang on 3 meters and my trough is bang on 3 meters. So it'll be a tight fit anyway, and when the sides are a bit buckled. But anyway, I'll have a go. So I'm just having to alter this a little bit. When I pressed it, I didn't quite press this back one enough, and then I tried to press it a little bit more, but I didn't have, because I'm doing it by myself, I didn't quite get the press back on the old press mark, so it like double pressed it. So you can see it's a bit over. So what I'm doing is clamping it down to the bench and just giving it a tap all the way along, just springing it back a bit. So I've done this end already, so that's a lot better. There's still a little bit there, but I can live with that. Compared to that, so I've just got this end to spring back. Yeah, it should be all right. So that's sprung back a lot more. It's about right, that. A little bit of a wiggle in the middle, but that doesn't matter. So that's a lot better. We'll try that again. Right, so I've got the trough tacked in at either end. There's a bit more to straighten out here, so I'm going to weld down there first and then see if I can straighten that out a bit more. And then I have a strip to weld down there to join onto that, onto there. And hopefully that'll keep this leg straight. When I take this prop out, hopefully that leg should stay where it is. And then same to do with this side. This side's not as buckled as the other side, but still a strip to go down there. And then once I get that done, I can put some weld. I don't know whether I don't think I'll seam weld it. I think I'll just put a few stitch welds all the way down there just to hold the trough on, and then I'll probably weld on the inside at the bottom. Right, so I've got that extra bit welded in. Just nothing fancy, just straight down. Same other side. I'm going to take this out now, and hopefully that leg will stop where it is. Right, so I've got the trough welded in now, got welded down the sides, just put a few stitches down on the inside. So before I turn it back the right way up, I'm just going to give it a bit of a clean off with brake cleaner, and then I'm just going to roughly brush paint it with grey. It's 4 degrees, so there's no point spraying it because it's far too cold for painting really, so I'm just going to roughly brush paint it. That'll do, and turn it right way up, and then paint the inside, and then there's a flap to go back in there to bolt back in. So I have a lid with a hole in it somewhere to put the stirrer through, but I can't find it because I've had accidents doing it like this, and you get paint everywhere. I'm just in low gear, so hopefully it'll be alright. Right, I've given it a coat of grey. Just want to turn it the right way up again now. So hopefully I can turn it back the right way up a bit more gently than when I tipped it on its side. Right, so that's it sorted. Nice new straight trough in it. So it's not the most interesting of jobs, not the most fun either, but it's a real world repair, so I thought I'd show you it. Just one of them jobs that pays the bills. Did you notice I've got a new coat as well? Trying to get it a bit mucky so I don't look so daft. Well yeah, hope you found it interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.